Today on manhands, I'll be replacing a 2-inch flush valve kit in my toilet. My toilet has been leaking. I checked the flapper. The flapper looks fine, so I'm pretty sure it's this flush valve. So I'll be swapping that out today. It's a St. Thomas model 6122 toilet and it's a 2-inch flush valve. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is identify where the water source is and make sure that's turned off. And then flush your toilet. Trying to get as much of the water out as you can. Okay, so all the water won't really come out, so what you can do is get a nice big sponge and you'll basically just sponge up the water that's left in there until you get it all. And you really want to get it all so you don't get water everywhere when you take this basin off here. Okay, so now that you got all the water sponged out and rinsed into the toilet bowl there, you need to disconnect the water supply, and it's a good idea to put a little bowl underneath to catch any water that comes off there. Okay, so now that you disconnected the water supply, the next piece is actually getting this whole thing off of here. And to do that, you have a couple mounting screws on the basin with like a flathead screwdriver. You'll hold that end, and there's a nut under there that you'll need a wrench for. So kind of use the flathead on the top and the wrench on the bottom and unscrew them off. Once you get the mounting screws off, you should be able to just pick up the basin here and set it on a towel, and the next step here will be taking the old flush valve out and putting in the new one. So my toilet has a 2-inch drain, and you can go to Home Depot or Lowe's and they have these flush valve kits that contain everything you need. They even have new mounting screws, and you want to use the new mounting screws when you put the basin back on. So now we're going to take this thing out. To do that, I'll have to hold the old flush valve with my hand and get a wrench on the side here to remove the old gasket. You want to remove the old sponge piece here, which mine was deformed, and that was probably where my leak was coming from. This piece kind of eaten out there. So a wrench around this piece, holding the valve flush kit on the other side to take this nut off here. Okay, and then out, just pull the old flush valve, and the next step will be to put in the new one. Make sure the seal is on the bottom, and you want the flush valve itself at the 10 o'clock position here. Alright, so you have a clipboard washer and the new hex nut to go on. Just screw that back on the same way. Just make sure everything is in place, nice and tight. Then the last piece of this is putting on the sponge gasket. Just kind of slide that back over. So now I got the new flush valve in the toilet here. Like I said, at the 10 o'clock position from the front of the toilet. That's where you want the actual valve. And now the next steps are just to mount it back onto the toilet and test it out. So for the new mounting screws, just make sure you use the new ones from the kit. Having this fresh gasket should prevent any leaks. Okay, I got everything reassembled. Flapper is functional. Fill valve tube is plugged into the overflow pipe. Next step here is to turn the water back on and hope you don't have any leaks. Now you'll need to reconnect the main water supply back to the toilet before you turn it on. Okay, turn the water back on. This toilet is filling up. And at this point, you know, everybody's going to be different, so you want to check your fill valve, make sure it fills properly, really make sure you don't have any leaks. That's the most important thing. Check the mounting screws that you put in. Sponge gasket on the main piece here. I'm not seeing any leaks, so I think I'm good. The last piece, like I said, is just your final adjustments, and that's it. That's how you replace a flush valve in a St. Thomas Creations toilet, 2-inch drain. Depot, Lowe's, get a repair kit for a 2-inch drain. You'll need a sponge to sponge out the tank to get all the water out of it, and then just these 3 tools here, a flathead, a wrench. These will get the mounting screws off for you, and then a bigger wrench to get the main hex nut on the bottom drain piece off. So that's it.